Hello, everybody, and welcome to Honor Thy Podcast. This is the weekly DCTV Arrowverse podcast we do here where we discuss everything Arrowverse. I'm your host, Declan McKinney, otherwise known as DCTV Talk, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Dan McCance, otherwise known as Mule Kick Media.
Hey, if I don't sound optimistic, it's because of the topic we've got coming up.
We've got a very exciting topic that we'll get into a bit later on, although you've probably seen it by the title. So, in this episode, we're going to go through all the news, which we've actually got quite a lot of news this week, but it's more like just sort of small details about each of the shows. So there's nothing like super exciting, but there's still stuff to discuss nonetheless. And in this episode, we are going to be debuting our brand new series, which we are going to be continuing over the next 4 weeks, where we are going to be ranking the top 10, or in this case, top 5 episodes of all of the previous seasons. That would be Supergirl Season 3, The Flash Season 4, Legends of Tomorrow Season 3, and also Arrow Season 6. We haven't quite decided yet if we're going to do a top 10 or a top 5. For this week, where we're doing Supergirl, we have chose to do a top 5 because we couldn't think of 10 good episodes. I mean, I'd say thinking of 5 good episodes is still arguable, but point is, we've done a top 5 for this week. We may stick with the top 5, or we may go to a 10 for the other 3. We're not too sure yet. We'll see how it goes. But with all that said, we'll get to that later on. But with all that said, we'll jump into the news. So the first piece of news we have here is the official episode title for Legends of Tomorrow, Season 4, Episode 4, which is quite interesting. I just kind of want to know who came up with this. I mean, Wet Hot American Bomber. I want to know who in the Legends writers room came up with that. I mean, I get the reference, but then who is that referencing on the show?
The funny thing is that I'm trying to remember now. There's a fight scene in that is almost identical to the fight scene at the end of Arrow Season 4. So maybe that's why they named it like that.
That would be so funny if it is.
Oh my god. It's just the Legends showrunner throwing shade at Mark Guggenheim because he's no longer a part of the show.
Yeah, because I remember that episode, and it's like it's exactly the same as the Arrow Season 4 finale fight between Aid and Oliver. But the thing is, on Wet Hot American Summer, it's played as a joke. Whereas on Arrow, they did it seriously, and it looks awful.
Oh my god!
But yeah, I don't know if this is relating to like Gary or if this is relating to Constantine or something. But either way, I mean, it's a very Legends title.
Very Legends. I mean, it's still a great title, but it's like I want to know what context that title's being used for.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, because sometimes Legends titles are like a bit misleading, or sometimes they're exactly what it is. Like, obviously, episode 7 of last season was Return of the Mac, and that episode was all about Return of the Mac. Oh. So it depends on how they go with it, but yeah, I mean, cool, whatever. Sure. I mean, a lot of the news this week is kind of just like that, just like little details. So Stephen Amell, he's been doing some talking.
As he always does.
As he always does, and he's been talking about the crossover. And there's been a lot of controversy surrounding the crossover recently, as I'm sure you all know.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to go on about now. I think I've heard this news.
Yeah, maybe you have. But Stephen Amell has said that the next crossover will be smaller in scale and is going to focus on character and story. I think we kind of all knew this anyway. This is all kind of what we predicted, just because last year with Crisis on Earth X, you can't really go bigger than that. So you have to go smaller. And also by the fact we know that Legends of Tomorrow isn't going to be a part of it.
Which is bullshit.
It's going to be a lot more focusing on Arrow and Batwoman and establishing that. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's... Why? Just put Legends in it, man. That's all I want. I don't give a fuck about making it smaller. Just put Legends in. It's bullshit.
Yeah, I just think, like... they have to kind of establish Batwoman in this crossover in order to get her to that show. I guess they have to focus on the story and focus on her and kind of give her a bit more setup for her story so that she can actually just go into her own show absolutely fine. You know, as long as you watch the crossover. But just the fact that they are kind of going down in scale, it doesn't surprise me because, like I said, Crisis on Earth X was so big in terms of bringing in all the shows that it was like a massive event. So to take that, you kind of have to go smaller. But the fact they're kind of going so small to the point where they are eliminating pretty much 3 of the now 5 shows in the Arrowverse when Batwoman comes in, it just feels like it's kind of negating the whole idea of a crossover.
Yeah.
It might as well just be just do like an Arrow Batwoman crossover then. You know, it just because I mean we discussed this before. But what really annoys me is the fact the legends aren't in it. That really annoys me.
That's a lot of characters you're basically just like excluding from it.
Especially, I really wanted to see Constantine in the crossover.
Yeah.
I really wanted that. But we're not going to get. I mean, maybe next season if Constantine's still around next season, but which I doubt, to be honest. But that's just a massive disappointment to me. But yeah, I mean, I've said this before. I'm not super optimistic for this crossover, to be honest.
No, I think it's just gonna bomb. I mean, I just don't know. I've got no faith in it, man. I've got as much faith in it as I have in Ruby Rose's Batwoman, which is zilch.
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, and actually, in other news, I didn't write this down, but Ruby Rose has left Twitter due to backlash from the Batwoman role.
That was expected.
I mean, obviously, we're not exactly the most innocent people in this department.
Hey, at least our criticisms are not because she's not gay enough. All right?
No, we were saying we understand from that point of view. We were just saying that she's not a good actress.
Yes, we just don't like her as an actress.
Which she's not.
Lily Simmons for Batwoman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or Madeleine Petsch, get her off.
Or Olivia Thirlby.
Yeah, exactly,
gotta throw that in. I gotta throw that in for the trade shout out.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, yeah, it's bad that she's left Twitter and all that, and it shouldn't happen really. But it's just there's just been such a negative backlash surrounding this character that I feel like a lot of people who are like basically I think there's a split because basically when you look at the people who aren't as involved in the DCTV stuff like us, like they seem to be a lot more all right with it, whereas people who are actually involved in the community are a bit more kind of salty towards it. So I guess people like a bit more general are going to be happy with this, but then all of us who, especially like a lot of us who know Ruby Rose, we're just kind of like, yeah, she's not a good actress. Especially, I mean, I recently just saw her in the Meg, and nothing spectacular there. I was really looking for her in that movie as well. I was really kind of looking because I was like, come on, please impress me, give me some hope.
God,
but I'm sorry, she just didn't.
Doesn't she play like a mechanic in the film, or isn't she like supposed to play a mechanic?
No, she's like Felicity basically.
Oh, because
have you not seen it yet?
No, I'm trying to remember because like I haven't watched it yet. I was going to what was it, the weekend it came out, but I just couldn't be bothered. And then it was like all I heard from people was that she was just very, very like average in the role, and then a lot of people just like said she was really miscast. But I just took it as she was bad because she's been bad in almost everything I've seen her in.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen a good performance, to be honest. Nothing great anyway. I thought maybe she was all right in Triple X, but I mean,
no, she was not. She was not good in Triple X. I'm sorry, I know you love Triple X, but Ruby Rose was not good in that.
I don't love it. I just think it's so entertaining.
Yeah, because of Vin Diesel, not Ruby Rose.
Not even because of that. I just think the movie's so stupid. It's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, I don't know if I've told this story before, but when I watched that movie in cinemas, it was literally me and my friend with the entire IMAX screen to ourselves, and it was like really late on a Monday night, and it was actually just us two in the entire IMAX screen, and it was just one of those things. Yeah, I mean, I'm someone who doesn't speak when I'm watching a film in the cinema. Like, I just have like a no speaking rule, but in that I just didn't even care. Like, me and him, we were just like talking about the film, just laughing our heads off. Like, it was so entertaining. I love that film. Anyway, so yeah, Ruby Rose has left Twitter, and the crossover is not looking great, but I guess we'll just have to see how it goes when we get there, I suppose.
Yeah, sad times.
But I'm not optimistic.
We're not haters, we promise. We're just negatively optimistic.
So the next piece of news, this is going back to Arrow. There's not really much to go on here, but Stephen Amell was on Twitter yesterday, and he was saying, watching a new costume or watching someone put on a costume for the first time is always exciting. There's been some speculation as to who this could be. I actually thought this might have been Batwoman at first, but I don't know. I feel like it might be a bit more Arrow related, especially because it seems like Stephen Amell was on the set of Arrow yesterday.
Yeah, plus they wouldn't have Batwoman on Arrow already. Like, it'd just be too early. Yeah,
it does seem a bit early. It could be Konomi Rhodes, maybe.
Yeah, I reckon it's one of the new characters. Yeah, either her or somebody else they're bringing. It might even be Ted. Ted Cord could be. Yeah.
I keep forgetting that Ted. Well, we don't actually know if it's Ted Cord yet. But...
watch all this hype, and then it turns out it's just some random guy. It's not Ted Cord.
Some random guy. Yeah, I reckon it's going to be that Kenobi Rose because I think she's going to become a vigilante, and I think she will kind of. Well, she probably already is a vigilante, and we're going to have to see. We might see her become a member of Team Arrow as the season goes on. Maybe she joins up with our boy Hoss, who is the only one trying to be a vigilante at the moment. Hoss.
Oh God.
I think it might be her because like I said, I think it's too early for Batwoman.
Yeah, I just can't see Batwoman appearing before the crossover. I just don't see it because they've not said anything about it. Like if it was her, I imagine it would have like leaked somewhere by now that she was on set.
It's like it does seem too early because they're not going to start. I doubt the costume's even been made yet.
No,
it's probably still in the early concept stage. I just think it's going to be there. And now we have quite an overload of Flash news. There's actually quite a lot of Flash news. So Jessica Parker Kennedy, who plays Nora Allen, has revealed that Nora Allen's big secrets, and I guess she says secrets there, will be revealed early on. So that's good, I suppose. Because I can't stand these kind of dragged out mysteries that the CW likes to do, especially Flash, like bloody Savitar. Like, at least this is going to be revealed. At least, I mean, to me, that sounds like it'll all be revealed within.
Depends on what their definition of early is, though.
Yeah, that could mean anything from like the first couple episodes to the mid-season finale. Hopefully, it's all done before then, because like I said, Nora Allen isn't the main conflict of the season. She is going to be there, but she's not the biggest thing. So, like, don't spend the entire season on these mistakes, right? I mean, yeah, you can spend the season dealing with the fallout, but don't, deal with trying to unravel what they are. Just do it off the bat. And it seems like that's what they're doing, so that's good. I'm glad they're not sort of focusing on that. I need Cobalt Blue, although it's probably not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Just give up. It's not happening.
Season 6, come on.
No, why?
I was convinced season 5. I really was.
Just because Rick Cosnett liked that tweet.
He still could come back. He did in season 3. And then we also have the villain Ragdoll. He's coming to the show next season. Now, I imagine this is just going to be... Did they say if this is a guest spot or a recurring role?
I haven't heard much about it, so I'm just going to guess that it's a guest spot.
I think it is a guess, but all they said was that Ragdoll is coming to the show. Ragdoll is a pretty ridiculous kind of shape-shifting villain, which makes me think maybe this could be an opponent for Ralph, maybe because he's a shapeshifter. Probably not though. But yeah, this character is quite interesting and quite unique as a villain. I don't know. Have you heard? You might have seen Paigey tweet about this today. Have you seen like what one version of the character did?
No, I'm not seeing this.
So supposedly, I don't know. I haven't read this. I mean, I'm assuming it's true. But this is what Paigey said on Twitter. He said that one version of the character grew his genitals, chopped them off, and then had sexual intercourse with his sister. Apparently, that's what happened in the comics.
That cannot have happened. There is no way.
That's what happened in the comics.
There is no way they would allow that in comics, fam. No.
I'm hoping to go for that version.
Nah, that's like some. That's like some satanic crap. There's no.
No, I mean they're obviously going to go for the first version of the character, not that one, unless the Flash wants to go down a very strange direction.
Unless they want to be encouraging young kids to cut the dick and balls off.
Yeah, it's just I can't believe it when I read that. I was just like, how did that make it into a comic book?
Oh man!
And what artist wrote that?
Frank Miller.
But yeah, Ragdoll coming to the Flash. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm interested. Also, Ralph Dibny. Speaking of Ralph, he is going to be focusing a lot more on his detective skills next season, which I think is something a lot of us wanted to see.
Yeah.
Like Ralph, he obviously was a detective back in the day. He's also been a private eye for a few years. I think we want to see a bit more of that in season 5, and sort of Hartley Sawyer and also Todd Helbing have been talking about it, saying that they want to sort of focus on that and give him that kind of role, because even though we have Joe, he's not really that involved in terms of his detective skills, even though he is a brilliant detective. So we get to see someone like Ralph, who's heavily involved on the team, is actually out in the field to be able to use those skills as well. Plus, that means more Ralph. So
Yeah. Plus, it means they can save the budget so they can actually do stuff with the Flash.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just like I feel like Ralph needs to like step up a little bit more. I just hope that next season they don't do the bloody I'm not good enough to be a hero thing like they did like 3 times. So just give him like a detective story. Give him like a focused detective story. That's what I'd like to see.
I think just because I wish we got more of that last season, to be honest. But I guess with last season they had to focus more on him becoming a hero, so that kind of required him to like suit up. So yeah, I just want them this season to like focus more on that detective area, just because then I think it'll be a nice different area to look into with this character.
Yeah, and also give us Sue Dibney as well while you're at it.
Yeah,
stick her in with Iris. Say that.
Make them best friends, and then have her say, "No, Ralph, we are the elongated man."
Oh, that'd be amazing. That would be like BAFTA worthy. Next piece of Flash news. We've got 2 more. Wally West has been confirmed for 3 episodes of the season.
I thought it was only 1.
No, there was only 1 we knew of, which was
the premiere.
The premiere, yeah. But he's also going to be in 2 more after that as well. I'm guessing that's the 100th episode, which would be the mid-season finale, and also probably the finale, maybe. Or somewhere around there. Yeah, I mean, we all knew that Wally wasn't going to be a huge part of next season. He's not on Legends of Tomorrow either. So, yeah, less Wally. That's always a terrible thing.
Terrible. I
feel so bad for Wally.
I know. It's just like they completely messed him over, like big time.
Yeah, he's just like he's a really good character as well. Like he's a really good character. And like in season 3 and going into season 4, I really thought we were gonna get some good stuff with Wally, but he was just so sidelined. I just don't understand why they took him off Legends. Well, actually, I understand. Obviously, it was Keenan Lonsdale's decision, but I don't know. He should have stuck on Legends. I think if Keenan Lonsdale maybe gave it one more shot and was like, decided to stick on Legends, it just would have been really good. Because like he really did add like this really cool effect to the back half of season 3 of Legends, and to have him, because we hadn't really had like a character come from one show over to Legends like mid-season like that. We've never seen that before. And again, it just added to the idea of the universe and the crossovers and things. It was just really cool to see Wally there. So I'm really sad that he's gone. And 3 episodes short, at least we're still getting some Wally, but I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, it'll be a shame, not seeing him.
Yeah. And the final piece of news is in a bit relation to something we spoke about last week. Obviously, we did talk about the Flash suit leak that came out last week. Did we discuss that last week? I think we did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Justin, yeah. Well, now we've got the official look at the suit. This is the one that CW wants you to see, with the official release of the poster as well. We've got the first poster for the Flash season 5. The suit looks much better.
Miles better.
Much better. I mean, as time went on, I was very negative on the suit when it first came out, but as time went on, and I kept looking at that leaked photo, it started to grow on me. But seeing that suit there on the poster, it looks great. Looks really great. I think it's I know a lot of people are really complaining about the chin strap. Which I don't really understand, because I actually quite like the fact it doesn't have a chin strap, because it's like a little tiny design that doesn't really affect the suit too much, but just something that's different, and I actually appreciate that.
Yeah, people who honestly are having a paddy about a chin strap seriously need to rethink their lives. Like, it's just a chin strap, guys.
Yeah.
Plus Grant Gustin's already said that it's coming back anyway. So even if you don't like it with that chin strap, it's coming back anyway.
Yeah. I guarantee you that's something in the story. I guarantee that's something like an episode where like you realise he needs the chin strap, like he burns his chin or something. Yeah, that poster looks so much better, and like because one complaint I had was how sort of patchy it looked with all the different materials. It works a lot better on that suit, because also Grant Gustin released a photo the same day of him in his trailer with the suit on, and again
it looks way better than on the leaked photo.
I really like that chest piece. I think that looks really good, and also the legs are a lot better as well. We get a proper look at those as well.
Still no look at the boots. Still no look at the boots.
Yeah, we still haven't seen the boots yet, but I'm just kind of waiting for set photos on that one, I suppose. I wonder when are they going to start using that suit then? Because what are they filming now? Because, I mean, Legends is on episode 4. I think Arrow is on 4 as well. So it should be on about episode 4. So when does this suit come into it? Was it? I don't know.
I don't even know either.
Yeah, I'm interested to see when the suit... Because I want to see what he's going to be wearing. Because if his suit got destroyed... Because that's the thing, the Flash... I'm confused with the Flash because it picks up immediately where Season 4 left off. Like, there's no time jump. Like the other shows normally have. Like Arrow's got a time jump, so like I don't know where Flash is gonna. I don't know. Maybe the episode 1 is like in that time, and then we get a time jump in episode 2. But then I want to know like what suit is Barry going to be wearing in that time, because we know he's in the season 1 suit, but like is there something else?
I don't know. It's just maybe it just runs around with a like early elongated man style suit where it's just a onesie.
Oh yeah, that lovely blue suit that you wore.
That one episode.
Yeah.
Oh, or a suit from the pilot. Get him that on.
Oh, I actually watched that the other day because I was like, because I'm rewatching The Flash now. Because obviously I'm rewatching Arrow with my dad, but I'm on season 3 now, so like I started watching The Flash. That part, season 1's so good, man. Like season 1's so good. I forgot how good it is. Like, and that pilot is really great.
Are you just secretly watching it now so you can get over the depression of watching season 3 with your dad of Arrow?
Well, I'm still alright with it so far.
No. What episode are you on?
We've only watched the first 2 episodes.
Exactly. The first 2 are alright. It's going to get downhill after that. That episode with Cupid, he's going to turn to you and say, the show's turned to shit.
Isn't that the next episode?
Nah, it's like the next one's Quarter Maltese, where they go to there.
Yeah.
And then episode 4 is one with Nissa, if I remember correctly. And then I can't remember which one's with what's her face, Cupid. Oh, episode 5 is the Felicity Smoke origin episode, because that's amazing. That's the one where she makes like Brother Eye, not Batman, but Felicity did instead. Now you understand how crap season 3 is.
I'm really not looking forward to that. Might not tell my dad about that one. It's completely irrelevant. So, but yeah, the new suit looks good overall.
Yeah, looks good. Looks good. I don't know if I prefer it to the season 4 suit, but it still looks good.
It's a lot more slim fit than the season 4 one is, which works a lot better. But I really love that season 4 suit. Like, I love that suit. It's one of my favorite ones in the Arrowverse. Like, I just love looking at the episodes where they film outside in the daylight and you get to see that suit in the daylight. It looks stunning. But in terms of this new suit, I just want to see like some set photos, and I want to see like, you know, maybe like the next trailer we might see it. Because I want to see like it in live action. I want to see what the trailers depict it as, because I think it'll look really good. So shall we move into our main topic?
The main topic we've been dreading for the whole episode.
So this is our new series where we're going to do the top 5 or top 10, depending on what we do. This is typical from us. We don't even know what we're doing yet. We're going to go through each of these seasons for the seasons just gone. So that's Supergirl season 3, Legends season 3, Flash season 4, Arrow season 6, and we're going to do our top 10 or top 5 episodes of the seasons. We're going to be kicking off with Supergirl. And we were going to do a top 10, but while we were doing that, we came across a big problem, which was that we couldn't name 10 good episodes. So we decided, because it was really difficult. Like, it was really difficult to actually list.
I mean, if you've been watching this podcast for a long time, you will know that we were not the biggest fans of season 3, so you can understand the decision to cut down the episodes.
Yeah, just a little bit. So we just thought, yeah, it's probably best if we just do a top 5.
Yeah, it's better for us. We don't have to go back and rewatch all the episodes and submit ourselves to that torture.
Yeah. So for this episode, we are going to be doing a top 5. We may continue to do a top 5 just to see, or we may actually jump to a 10 for the other shows. See how we feel. See how this goes as well. So I'll let you start off with your number 5.
My number 5 is going to be, and bear in mind this took me a very long time to decide, because like the top 2 were incredibly easy, and then like 3 to 5 were basically anything could have gone there. But I ended up going for episode 5. I went with episode 20, which is Dark Side of the Moon. I almost said Dark of the Moon, then I realised that's the Transformers film, not the episode.
Best film in the franchise.
It's not the first one is. Shut the fuck up. Like I said, I mean, I've already stated 3 to 5 really are interchangeable. I really couldn't give a shit about them, but the reason I put it at 5 and the reason it makes it on the list is because it at least is sort of interesting because you get to go to a new location in wherever the fuck they go to. I don't even know what it's called. He puts his episode in the top 5, doesn't even know the main location of the episode. That's great. But I liked the change of scenery. The change of scenery was good. It just meant you could go somewhere different, and it was cool what they did over there, especially with Mon-El. I thought Mon-El was actually quite good in that episode. Yeah, he felt more akin to what I wanted to see from him for most of this season, so I did like that. But the only real negatives of the episode for me personally was the stuff on Earth, the stuff with Ruby, Declan's favourite character, and
best character on the show.
But yeah, that was like the worst stuff. But like, I mean, it's not a terrible episode, but because it's not terrible, it's the only reason it makes it in the top 5, and that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, I have this episode on my list, so I'll kind of get to it when I get to it. My number 5, I've come for a cracking episode, absolute belter. Episode 19, The Fanatical.
Oh my god! Why are you choosing this episode?
Because no matter what you say, man, you can't lie that it wasn't entertaining.
Pardon?
You can't lie, right? No matter how bad the episode was, it was entertaining. I mean, this is I'd say this is the most laughably bad episode of the season.
No, the gun control episode.
Yeah, this is that episode, isn't it?
No, that's episode 21, not Kansas.
Either way, I still really like it.
So basically, people, it's episode 21 at number 5 for him, not 19. This man's such an idiot, he doesn't even know what episode it was.
To be fair, this is how memorable season 3
was.
Oh, God. I thought that scene was in this episode, but either way, there's still loads of other great cracking scenes in this episode.
Oh my god.
So this was the supposed James Olsen focused episode of the season, and it was just like, because to be fair, James as a character I really like, and I really like Guardian, but he's just never focused on, as we all know. So I just enjoyed seeing that. Also, they brought back the cult in this episode, which, despite that absolutely awful fight scene we had,
no,
Supergirl.
You're getting these incredibly confused right now.
Am I?
You are. Episode 19 is the one where it focuses on James potentially being Unmasked as Guardian. It's got the cult thing. Episode 21 is the one with the gun control.
Should we just move on to number 4?
Oh my god! But all right, basically, I can understand why you put that there because it is amazingly good, but it's not a great episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
This is how memorable the season is. This is why we did 10 episodes. Imagine how confused I'd get.
Actually, scrap that. I'm going to get rid of my number 5. That's going on number 5 instead.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh my!
The gangster music in the trailer can't be beat.
Such a Jimmy focused episode, all that hip hop, R&B, grime music. Oh my god. Alright, my number 4, because I've decided to change my number 5 to that one, to episode 21 because I can. My number 4 originally was the premiere Girl of Steel, but now you've reminded me of the terrible episodes. I've decided to put at number 4 is going to be episode 19. Which is the non-gun control episode. Like you said, it's amazing. The wire work in that episode is truly phenomenal. I mean, it's a work of beauty. Just watching that fight scene. And then the acting from that cult girl when she gets infected, I'm not going to lie, I laughed. Like, it's amazingly awful. It's like all the focus on James, and it's like not really that focused on him. And then he reveals, he's like, oh, I can't reveal who I am. I'm not ready. And then like 4 episodes later he does, and the show barely focuses on it. But oh my god, it's such an. There are so many episodes on here that I just laughed when I watched them. Like, they're just amazing. Yeah. But that's gonna be my number 4.
Yeah, it is quite wonderful.
It's truly amazing. Truly amazing.
Now my top 4 I would consider to be decent episodes of the season. These were kind of like the best ones, and my number 4, I know you're gonna hate this. I've gone for Midvale.
Oh my word, no!
I mean, I've gone on record and I'll still say it
you
now.
can't be picking these rubbish filler episodes that serve no purpose to the actual.
Midvale a lot.
What?
I actually really liked
Midvale is an episode that should have been in season 1, not season 3.
True.
Halfway through.
True.
What does it add to the current storyline? What does it add to the Rain story? Nothing.
What's
She's
the
not.
fanatical ass?
She's not even in the episode. Oh my god! It's like it's boring. I found it so boring.
I really like Isabel Vinovich, who played young Kara. I thought she was really good.
You got an obsession with. You got an obsession with her.
She was great in Wonder, and she was awesome in iZombie this season.
Oh my god!
And she was great here.
I don't know what it is.
I just enjoyed it. I just enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun episode.
I've lost all respect.
It was a nice little fluffy waste of time.
I've lost all respect for you now. You could have put episode 21 or episode 19 in this list, and you haven't. You chose that piece of crap instead. You considered that to be a more memorable episode.
All I know is I walked away from this episode singing Gwen Stefani, so
Gwen Stefani's bad.
I enjoyed this episode.
Gwen Stefani's bad, your opinion's irrelevant.
Well, come on then, big boy. What's your number 3?
My number 3, I did contemplate putting episode 18 just because I can talk about shit about Antonio Negret and for that amazingly awful death scene by that woman. I can't remember her name anymore. Fuck that woman. But at number 3, I decided to actually go for a sensible pick. I've gone with the mid-season premiere, The Legion of Superheroes. Only because I felt like it was a good story, because it was a good way to begin after the mid-season finale, like having Kara have to like come full circle with the character, because obviously in the last episode she got her ass kicked by Rain, and then this one it's about learning like you can't just go at Rain with brute force, you have to actually be inspiration, not just use anger and fury against her. Like that was good. I liked the introduction of Brainiac 5, like that was really well done. And some of the stuff with the Legion was cool. There is the infamous part of the episode that always makes me and you laugh. The bit where Mon-El just runs toward Rain when the Legion are fighting her. And it's just him with I don't even know what he's holding. Is he holding a knife or something? I don't know. He's just running at her at normal speed. And she just easily takes him out. And I'm like, bro, you can run or dash or jump far or whatever. Why are you just running towards her? You could just literally have the Vine playing of, why are you running? What are you running? And he's doing it because it's like, bro, you could just use. Oh, these jokes are so classic. They're killing Declan.
I was drinking when he said.
Honestly,
it's so funny.
Honestly, it's so awful. And it's like,
I'm gonna make that.
Oh my god, it's awful. And then it's like, but then again, it's like, it's good because I like the stuff with Kara in it. It was a good story, that, and I liked the scenes between her and Brainiac 5. And I love the fact that I
actually forgot about those scenes. They're good.
Yeah, and the funniest part of it all was I just liked going online and trolling people by saying this is the end of Caramel and the beginning of Kara and Brainiac. On one of those, I was actually correct.
I actually really hope the Kara and Brainiac 5 relationship happens just to see the reaction.
Oh, it'd be a meltdown.
Thing is, though, I actually wouldn't mind it. I think it's all right. Especially, I think it's been hinted at that he likes her at least.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a thing there.
It's happening. It's happening. If Felicity can happen and Caramel can happen, this is happening, and it will be done good. Facts.
Yeah.
This is what will save the show.
Yeah. This is what I'm most excited about for season 4.
Because there's nothing else to be excited for.
Exactly, yeah. So this is how bad it's got. We're excited about the relationship.
Literally, this and Sam Witwer are the only 2 reasons I'm excited for season 4. That is it.
Yeah, I actually do quite like the look of Agent Liberty. He looks cool.
Oh.
But it's because it's Sam Witwer. My number 3, I don't know if you put this on your list or not, but I guess this is considered the cheat card. I put Crisis on Earth X Part 1. I mean, it's an episode in the season, so why not? Yeah, I mean, obviously this is just the first part of the Crisis on Earth X crossover. I mean, not really much else needs to be said. it's
Oliver, I don't want to marry you.
Well, that is a brilliant bit of dialogue.
That's shit.
It is a great episode. Even though it is technically a Supergirl episode, it is brilliant. Arguably you could put this at number 1. but I decided not to. I wanted to actually make this a bit more Supergirl focused, but yeah, it's just I just had to put it because it's a great episode.
Oh, I can tell you were really struggling then. You're just like, oh, I can actually talk about an episode that's decent.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great episode. All the characters, the wedding fight scene. Also, I believe, isn't that the episode where you get Earth X Prometheus?
Yeah, the fight scene with him, yeah. And you also get, Earth X Guardian as well.
Yeah, which is really cool, actually. I actually remember seeing that for the first time. Really impressed, because I was like, when actually like Earth X Guardian showed up, I was like, oh, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, because I honestly didn't think he would appear in the crossover.
Yeah, because also like Earth X Win appears, not in this episode, but obviously he appears in, I think it's episode 3. The Flash episode. It's like, that's really cool. I didn't expect Supergirl characters to have as big of a presence in it as they did. So yeah, like you got Earth X Guardian, who gets killed off straight away by Earth X Oliver, but then also Earth X Win is the leader of the Freedom Fighters. But yeah, I think it's a great episode. It is. Bit of a cheat, but
yeah. Well, I've just realised oh my god, you've put Dark Side of the Moon above this, you absolute noob. You deserve to be shot with a pickaxe.
Shot with a pickaxe?
You deserve to be shot through the heart.
Oh!
Fucking hell. Oh, imagine if that...
God, that was your number 3.
Oh, no. I could have said perfect segue, but then you probably would have passed out from shock. So, but no, my number 2 is Crisis on Earth X Part 1.
Yeah.
Literally, guys, honestly, if I didn't have this episode on, there would only be one episode on this list I would actually consider great. So I had to put this on just to make it 2, but... The funniest thing is, I don't actually think this is the weakest part of the Crisis on Earth X Part.
No, it's not the Arrow episode.
The Arrow episode is the weakest one by far. And it's weird because that episode is directed by James Bamford, so I would have expected that one to be one of the better ones, but not. But this one I don't mind. It kind of acts as more of a setup episode. You don't really get any action until there's literally one at the very beginning and one at the very end. But it was nice just to see all the characters come together, and all that was amazing. The church scene at the end made everything for me. That was amazing. I mean, just seeing Rory just falling asleep during Barry and Iris's wedding was the best thing ever.
I love the scene where he sits down next to Singh.
Oh
shakes
yes.
His hand and goes, "I hate cops," and then Cecile comes on, and lawyers.
Oh, it's amazing. And then yeah, it's just a really, really good episode, and you got Earth X Prometheus in there, which is awesome. You got Earth X Guardian, who's actually kind of a badass, but he's literally only got 2 minutes of screen time before he gets killed.
Before he's shot through the heart.
God, what an awful episode. Oh my god. But yeah, it is good. The only issues I really have with it are more to do with every scene that Felicity's in. Fuck Felicity. She was just awful in those crossovers, man. That crossover, she was terrible.
Yeah.
Why do they write...
I hate the scene with her and Earth X Oliver where she's Earth X Oliver's threatening her, and then R Oliver comes in with the Earth X car, and it's all just oh, we will not back down. We will keep fighting. So get the hell off our Earth while you still can.
Honestly, that's the thing. Emily Bett Rickards, she's a really nice person from what I've seen of her. When I've been down to Heroes and Villains the 2 times, she's been really, really nice. But I'm just not convinced by her as an actress. I remember watching that scene, my head was just buried in my hands. It was such an awful done scene. She just. If you give her anything that requires any emotion or nothing that's technobabble, she just fails. She's honestly awful. And people want to see her win awards for acting. It's bruh. But alright, this isn't attacking Emily Bett Rickards. I'm just saying her character was shit in this crossover. But yeah, that's my number 2.
So I guess this brings us to number 1.
No, because you haven't done your number 2. Oh my! You just want this list to be over and done with. He just wants it to be over.
So as you guessed, number 2 for me is Dark Side of the Moon. I just remember seeing this episode and saying that it was the second best episode of the season. Because I always knew that my number 1 was always number 1.
How could you put this above Crisis, you noob?
Only because I wanted to make the top two. I wanted to make
no, you got to be legit and honest. Crisis on Earth X Part 1 was better.
If I was honest, I put Crisis on Earth X Part 1 as number 1. But yeah, I remember enjoying Dark Side of the Moon. I liked being on Argo City. I thought that was
That's what it was called. Oh my god.
Argo City, yeah. It was nice to be like on a different part of the world instead of actually just being in National City. It was nice to like different change of scenery, as you said. I actually really like what they did with Mon-El. I think the scenes he had with like that little boy, I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Seeing Allura again was really good. Because I actually really like Allura, so to see her come back. And there was like a few other characters as well who they just kind of bring in who I thought were quite good. We got Principal Franklin from iCarly doing a cameo appearance, which I really enjoyed. Turns out he was a bit more evil than we first thought, which I enjoyed even more. Yeah, I actually quite like this episode. I thought it was very well directed by Antonio Negro.
Shut up. It's not Antonio Negro who directs it, you idiot.
Yeah, I thought he directed this one. Oh no, he directed 18.
Yeah 18, because that's a shit episode. He only directs crap things now.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the episode on the whole. I like I said, I think it is the second best episode of the season. I remember saying that then. I'll still say it now. Number 1. In fact, I'm pretty sure we both got the same number 1. So
yeah. I think anybody who has watched season 3, I would be surprised if people haven't put this on the number 1. Like it's by far the best episode. Like I know we would be obliged usually to say like the crossover, but I do think this is a legitimately great episode. That is of course Reign, the mid-season finale.
Finale.
I'd go as far as to say it's the best episode ever of Supergirl.
Yeah.
It's like
I think that's far off now.
I just think the way that they wrote this episode was so well done because it kind of brought, the first half of the season tried to like experiment with this darker side of Kara and how far she's willing to go to try and like defeat her enemies, and I just love what this episode did. Like it was very dark, it was hard hitting, it wasn't afraid of showing this person who's been kind of shown as a symbol of hope and just having to destroy it. It very much reminded me a lot of Enter Zoom from The Flash season 2. It very much reminded me of that, just in the way of how it took someone who's this very, kind and innocent person, always lighthearted, and just took them to this, like, the lowest place that they've ever been. And I just thought it was so well done. They made Reign this really effective antagonist, which I was quite surprised by, because this is really, like, the first episode where you get to see her in full. Because if I remember correctly, they showed her at the end of episode 7, and then obviously the episode after was Crisis on Earth X, and then this episode, just the way that they set her up as a threat, like a tangible threat to Supergirl, was so well done. And I just thought it was really cool and interesting. All the storylines I thought were honestly quite good, and just the ending itself, like the final fight, was just awesome. Like, that's what I wish Supergirl was like the most. Like the choreography, it didn't feel fake. The punches felt real. They felt like they had an impact, and that is kind of what I want from Supergirl. With Supergirl, I think the problem with the fight scenes is that they feel too artificial. I don't feel involved or interested, or very much like our hero is on edge. Like, that is my favorite fight scenes in film, are the ones where you feel like the hero is on edge. You feel like that in The Flash, Arrow, Legends, maybe not so much Legends, but at least they use it for more of a comedic purpose. And in Supergirl, in this one episode, they got it right. They got it completely right. And if the tone of the whole season was like it was in this episode, I genuinely think this season could have been something really, really special, but it proved not to be. But yeah, it's easily the best episode of the season, hands down.
Yeah, I mean, hit the nail on the head, though. I think my favorite thing about the episode, and the reason I love it, is that fight scene.
Yeah.
Just because it's so... My biggest complaint with fight scenes in Supergirl is just how fake they feel.
Yeah, they don't feel real. Like,
because it's literally, most of the time, it's just Supergirl and whoever the enemy is just flying around on strings.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it doesn't look real, and it doesn't feel, like, exciting, or it doesn't feel riveting in any way. But this fight, it was so grounded. Like, it was just these two, people with similar power sets, but they weren't even really using their powers that much. They were literally just like taking massive heavy things and hitting each other with them. And I think that worked. Like, it was just a really grounded, like, really gritty looking fight. And I really enjoyed that. I think it really felt impactful every time. Because Kara got the hell beaten out of her.
Yeah.
In this episode. Even the cliffhanger where, she hangs her off the building that just pushes her off. And like even when you look at like Kara's face, like it's just destroyed. I just think that fight really makes this episode, and I really enjoyed it. And even just in terms of other stuff, like say, going for that darker tone, this was a really dark episode. And it was, again, it fitted really well. I think, they really wanted to go for this darker tone in the first half of the season, and they just kind of abandoned it as soon as we got to the mid-season premiere. And it was just gone from that point on. I mean, they've said for season 4 they want to go more grounded, so hopefully that means they'll do this again. And hopefully they've realised that this is what they were actually doing right. But yeah, just in terms of this episode, it worked so well, and it just really left an impact on me. And I genuinely think this was probably the best mid-season finale out of the shows. Maybe Flash, but I think it's definitely up there. Like it was better than Arrows, and it was better than Legends.
What do you mean? Arrows was amazing, bro.
Oh yeah, bloody hossing it about. But yeah, I think this was probably the best mid-season finale. It's the best episode of season 3, and yeah, it's probably the best episode of Supergirl ever. So
just a shame the whole season couldn't be like this.
Yeah, so that's why it does deserve the number 1. It does. But there's only really like 2 other actually good episodes of the season. So
the only thing I want to know is, did Andrew Kreisberg write this episode? Because I have a sneaking suspicion that he did.
I think he did, yeah.
It's like, I don't understand how you like. It was like such good writing, and then it just all went downhill from there. Because I remember like during the mid-season break, everyone was talking about how good Supergirl was, and then I was always one of the people who said like, yeah, the season wasn't amazing, but the finale like ended it on a good note, like where I was actually interested to see where they go, and it's just where they went with it. It was just like almost the complete opposite area. It's almost as if they just like they were too. Yeah, it's almost like they either gave up because they'd lost Andrew Kreisberg, or they were just too scared to continue on with that tone. Because it's like, oh, if we go on with that, they might associate it with Kreisberg. We don't want to be associated with him, so we're gonna make it lighter. I don't know why, but it just felt wrong, because it just felt like I was watching 2 different halves of the season. Like the first half is very dark, and then the second half is just, for some dumb reason, they make it really light. I don't know. It's just, it's frustrating. Just kind of like the whole season, to be perfectly honest. Actually, I've just checked now. It wasn't written by Andrew Kreisberg.
No.
Written by Paulie Yu and Caitlin Parrish. That is interesting.
Fair enough.
Oh, God's sake.
Oh well. I mean, it's funny. I think we say every single week we're never going to talk about Supergirl season 3 again, but then we always keep doing it. But this was just, I think this was a cool idea to kind of do like our top 5 or top 10 episodes of the previous seasons. Just kind of like a cool. I like doing lists. Me. So yeah. So that was our top 5 episodes of Supergirl season 3, or I guess it was more like a top 3 really, because the 4 and 5 were just whatever.
They were just like episodes that were just like so bad that they're good, basically.
Yeah. Next week, I don't know which show we'll do next week. It'll probably be Legends, although I don't know yet. And with that, we'll do our top 10 or our top 5, depending on how we feel. With that season, I mean, Legends season 3 is amazing. It really is. But so we may end up doing a top 10 for that one, just because there's so many good episodes to talk about with that one. But yeah, this is a new series that we are starting. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned for every episode. We can come back and check out all this. I just find it really fun doing lists. I always have done, so I like doing this. And also gives us 4 weeks of content. So that is the show for this week. It actually went by a lot quicker than I thought it would. Yeah,
very quick. I don't even think that's our shortest one, but it feels a lot shorter this time.
I thought it was gonna be really long.
Yeah, but then again, it is Supergirl, so it's not exactly something we want to passionately talk about for like an hour and a half.
Wait until we get to Arrow, then.
Oh, that would just be passionate ranting of how inconsistent the season was.
Yeah. But also, when we get, I mean, I was saying to you earlier, if we do top 5s, if we do the top 5 for Arrow season 6, it would literally just be the last 5 episodes of the season. It actually would be though, unless you throw in the Deathstroke episode. But like, I
don't even know if the Deathstroke episodes were as good, because it's like
I don't know. I think I'd go for the
enjoy
last 5.
Yeah, because like I enjoyed the Deathstroke ones, but it's like the side plots of them I didn't think were that interesting.
They were kind of diamonds in the rough, really.
Yeah. It was like the Deathstroke stuff was cool, but then the side plots, like in episode 5 with the Vigilante, which was awful, and then episode 6 with Diaz, they weren't exactly that amazing. Whereas at least with the last 6 episodes, they were all just like you cared about what was going on.
Yeah. But we'll get to that when we get to Arrow.
Yeah.
That'll probably be in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually.
Or whenever. Whenever we decide. We're not planned people. We don't organise things anymore.
As you can tell. But that is the episode for this week. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. You don't miss any of our upcoming rankings of the seasons. And also, we'll keep doing this show every single week, as we always do. And, I mean, we're not actually that far away from the show starting now.
No, we're only about, what was it, 2 months now?
2 months out. Yeah, just over 2 months. Or under 2 months, I should say. But yeah. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like. Share it around with anybody who you believe might be interested in this. And with all that said, I've been Declan.
I've been Dan.
And we hope to see you guys again next week.
Fuck Supergirl.
Agreed.